How y'all doing? How y'all doing on this Tuesday night? How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all feeling well. And if you're not, hope you get better. Hope y'all get better. I want to. I don't know what this topic says what it says, but and I got a lot more to add to it. As melanated people in this day and time, we need to avoid pubs, VFWs, and white bars. Cause just this day and age of time, they feel like they are more emboldened to try us melanated kings and queens. So, and they know they don't want to, they can't whoop us, right? They can't whoop us, and it take more than one person to do it, right? Or, or they might take um, a weapon to whoop us, to unalive us, to put us in the ground, but we still survive. We would get would that bring us into justice when it goes to court? Don't know. We surely don't know. But it just the audacity of these white folks, not only them, other ethnic groups that don't per se that don't mess with us, right? Don't mess with us melanated kings and queens. They got a problem with us. But I look at it like this. They do not have a problem with us. They have a problem with themselves. They fighting their inner demons inside of themselves, right? Like we always fight our inner demons ourselves. When you fight your inner demons, that part you don't want to come out, it comes out in a negative way. It comes out in a negative way, especially with them, especially in this day and age. They feel emboldened that they had a rights to everything, that they own everything, which they don't. This land that we walk on is not theirs. But yet they feel emboldened. They can do anything and get away with anything. But they're gonna run up on the right person. They're gonna FAFO. They're gonna F around and find out that some of us melanated people do not play. I don't play myself. You come with me with that, the N word and all that stuff, calling me all kinds of names. Hey, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. Gonna F around and find out. So I say this, I say this, I said that to say this. We gotta protect each other. We got to come together as one unit. Ladies, don't go to the bars and the VFWs, pubs, or white bars by yourself. I'm gonna tell you this: don't even go to them places with some of your so-called white friends, because guess what? When the chips are down and the other people start want to fight and call their names and all that other stuff, will they be by your side? Will they be by your side? Will they stand there with you? Will they help you? Or will they stand by and let it all happen? I'm going to go and say this. Someone might stand by and let it happen. There's a few that will jump in the fray with you. But would you want to take that? Would you want to take that chance? Not saying all scared folks will help you out. I'm not saying all scared folks will jump in to help you. At least you have a better chance with them, with your skin folks, with people that look like you if you go in them type of places. Because some of them is not going to take that mess. Some of them are going to be ready to throw down. Some are going to be ready to throw down. So I'm going to play this little audio. I think it's like 3 of them. Then I'm going to tell you. Then I got 2 more stories I got to tell you. Okay, here we go.
And a 27-year-old man was brutally beaten. He has lacerations to his face after he was stomped and kicked. I had a chance to speak with his mother today, and she wants to know why 911.
Look what they did to my son. Did you understand somebody just laying there and bleeding out and nobody will help him? It's like, come on, the decency. I take care of people. I've been a nurse for over 20 years, buddy. And I don't discriminate. No matter what. And I'm not saying this is a black thing, a white thing, it's a human thing.
There was an argument and pushing and shoving. My bartenders threw all 3 people out that were involved. And the incident happened on the street. And I did show you the pictures of the blood that was on the street to prove that the fight was on the street, not inside the bar.
Buffalo police want anyone who has pictures or video to contact them from inside of that facility on that evening.
Y'all see it? This young brother is looking.
Yeah, and he got beat and stumped when he was at this bar, right? He got beat and stumped. Cause of what? Why? They don't have to have no reason why they do things. Because they just don't like your color of your skin. They get a little alcohol level. We call it liquor courage inside of them. Like the mother said, it's not a black or white thing, but it seems like it is a black and white thing. But yet, what happened to the human decency of somebody helping people? What happened to the human decency of we helping each other? When what happened to calling somebody out for saying something wrong? What happened to all of that? What happened to, like in Spike Lee? What happened? I'm going to use Spike Lee title of one of his movies. What happened to doing the right thing? See, we got a whole lot of folks running around here claiming they Christian. Got a whole lot of folks running around here saying they religious. I don't care what kind of faith. I don't care what faith you are. You're for to love your neighbor. But at the same time, they are there playing like they are holier than thou. But the problem is, no matter what faith you are, you got to use it like you're supposed to. I don't care what ethnic group you are in. If you consider yourself Christian, Muslim, Jew, Israel, Pakistan, it doesn't matter. It don't matter what your religion is. I guarantee you that religion that you studying, that your faith, I guarantee you, it don't say hate your neighbors. It don't say don't like your neighbors because of their skin tone. It don't say don't like your neighbor because of where they live at. It don't say hate your neighbor, do not like your neighbors for the status they are. It don't say that. Just about every religion, every faith, if you want to go there, teaches you to love one another. You got to love one another. But this day and age, we are at the end of times right now. But with that, I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, it didn't happen here, it didn't happen there." But what happened to the human kindness? What happened to doing the right thing? What happened to breaking it up before it gets started? What happened to de-escalating the situation before it gets worse? What happened? What happened to all of that? I know what happened to all of it. People don't want to get involved. They're scared what might happen to them. That's what it is. They scared what might happen to them. Here's another story. This young man graduated from college and goes on a vacation in Greece. I'm gonna let you listen to the story. Then I'm going to go to it and read it.
Over the beating death of an Austin man caught on camera 5 years ago in a racially charged attack. Bakari Henderson was on an overseas business trip. Today, his parents spoke out on CBS This Morning.
I don't think they view us black people the same as they do white people over there. And I felt that in the trial and the results of the trial is that they treated and felt like he was less than a man.
6 of 9 suspects were found guilty of assault in 2018. Most are already out. None were previously tried for murder. An angry mob beat Henderson after a girl took a selfie with him at a bar. They told her, quote, "There are a lot of Serbs in here. Why are you talking to a black guy?" The new murder trial will start February.
Condolences to that young brother right there. I mean, the first video that I created about it.
Yeah, he went overseas, right? He took a picture with a Serb girl, which she said she was white. And some guys didn't like that. They didn't like it. See, sometimes it don't pay to mingle, and they were found guilty. 6 of the 9 were found guilty of assault, and they are out now. I don't know why he went with some, and I look at this right here. I don't want to talk ill will, but some of us as melanated people are naive about other countries. Yes, they got white folks over there that do not like us. They don't want us talking to their women. And you see what happened. They started a fight in the bar. He fought back. Then he was trying to run away. Then they surrounded him. They surrounded him and beat him to death. Talking to somebody of another ethnic group shouldn't get you buried. Talk to another man or woman, another ethnic group shouldn't get you beat up. None of it should get you beat up. None of it. I'm looking at it like he didn't do nothing wrong. The girl came with us, started talking to him. And them men got jealous. Them white men over there, those servers got jealous of a melanated black man, an educated black man, because he took a selfie with one of their own. Is it right or is it wrong? Is it right or is it wrong? I don't know. But I tell you, it's wrong at the same time. It's wrong at the same time. It's wrong at the same time. Just give me a minute.
Last 2 weeks, all to either prove or disprove Ian Cranston acted in self-defense. The prosecution holds that his actions were unjustified, whereas the defense said that he did nothing illegal and defended his own life.
What's happening here? How will you describe what your role has been in drugs? What you've been trying to do?
Earlier this statement, the defense intended to convince the jury Cranston shot Washington in self-defense. The prosecution claimed the enormity of Cranston's actions did not match the scope of the situation, saying there was no imminent threat and that Cranston hesitated 30 seconds before shooting Washington. Cranston's fiance, Allison Butler, his friend Tyler Smith, and a responding officer were called as witnesses. Evidence for the trial included video footage captured on security cameras from nearby businesses, body cam footage from responding officers, as well as footage recorded on Butler's cell phone. The prosecution and defense said Washington approached Butler in the Capitol, a downtown club, and flirted with her. She told him she was engaged and they went their separate ways. In presenting the scenario to the jury, the defense and prosecution agreed on a basic sequence of events. Washington, who had been drinking, approached Butler again outside the club with Cranston there. Cranston, his friend Tyler Smith, and Butler tried to get Washington to leave, and he refused. When the situation escalated, Washington punched Cranston twice in the head. Butler then took out her phone to record Washington. When she started recording, Butler claimed Washington came towards her and hit her. Cranston was standing in the background with his gun at his side. Cranston said he thought Washington was getting ready to hit him again, and that's when he raised his gun and shot him in the abdomen. Butler later stated Washington did not hit her, attributing her error to confusion. The prosecution pointed out that Cranston had also been drinking at the club and previously at another bar. There was also a debate on whether Washington was affiliated with the gang after an unwarranted sweep of his phone by the defense. Cranston said he feared for his life and he felt unable to fight him off physically and shot him to stop the threat. The prosecution implied Cranston had other options. The defense claimed the punches could have been lethal, which warranted Cranston's response. The prosecution said the whole incident was nothing more than a bar fight over a girl and should not have resulted in a death.
This was a fist fight. Mr. Cranston, you brought a gun to a fist fight.
Condolences to the family of Barry Washington.
Think about it. That man, he got mad because Washington went to talk to his fiance after she told her she had a fiance. He walked away. Although he did approach her outside the club, outside that bar. Although he did approach her outside that bar, he didn't have no weapons on him. And the defendant owned fiance said she might have been confused and said that Cranston, the one who shot Washington, was also drinking at another bar. Where do we get off using the gun to settle dispute? Where do we start using the gun to settle anything? When are people going? Like I said, people don't know how to fight these days. First thing they grab is a gun. Learn how to throw hands. Then you will survive, you will live, and you might get locked up for a few years. But nobody thought about helping that man, Washington. The fiance, she didn't think about stopping her fiance from putting that gun and shooting Washington. Where is the human decency? What happened to doing the right thing? See, that's why we need to stop going to the VFW's, the pubs, and the white bars thinking we are equal. We are not equal to them. I'm going to tell you, they are not above us. We are above them because we kings or queens out here. Like I said, if you go to that bar, whatever, where a whole bunch of other ethnic group there, make sure you're with your friends, your real friends. That is 10 toes down with you. That will get in the mud with you. Will get in that foxhole with you. Who really got your back? Because we continue to go to the pubs, go to the places where a whole lot of other ethnic group there, and they get a little liquor courage in them to drink. They get a liquor courage in them to drink. And they feel emboldened. They already feel emboldened enough, but that liquor courage in them and that boldness, that entitlement swells up in them. And guess what? They want to try you. But just like this man got tried. And he pulled out a gun. The first guy that was at that pub, he's alive. Thinking about the one that was over in Greece. He rested for life. And this other Washington, he rested for life. I don't know what to say. It's a crying shame that we had to deal with these issues every single day, every single hour, every single minute, second. It doesn't matter. We had to deal with these issues. When are we going to realize we are different? We are smarter. We love hard. We forgive. But that's some people just don't like us. When are we going to learn that? That's some people that just do not like us. Let me see, can I find this other one? I think there's another one. Yeah, women, very good. Don't drink so much and get so intoxicated you don't know what's going on. Please don't. I'm finna see. Hold on, see if I can find it. Here we go. Here's a story about the one in Greece. Men who fairly beat American tourists. Henderson in Greece acquitted of homicide in long-awaited retrial. Okay. 5 years of anticipation led to a disappointing result for one Texas family on Friday when a group of men involved in a fatal 2017 beating of a 22-year-old Henderson were found not guilty of intentional homicide in a Greek courtroom. Henderson, who was from Austin, Texas native, who had just earned his degree in finance and entrepreneurship, was visiting the Greek island of, I can't pronounce it, so it is Zakynthos, with some buddies to celebrate their college graduation when an attack outside a bar left him dead in the street. The suspect was initially tried on homicide charges in 2018, but against the prosecutor's recommendation, none was found guilty of murder, instead being convicted of lesser assault charges. See, y'all thought this only went on over here that people get away with, that they get away with murder and get lesser charges. Nope, it's over there too. Feeling that justice had yet to be served, the prosecutor immediately ordered a retrial, a rare move that would not be permitted in the United States court under a double jeopardy laws. That wouldn't be happening over here. In a closing statement earlier this month, the prosecution asked that each defendant be convicted of intentional homicide. A panel of judges and jury members ultimately sided with the defense. Unfortunately, it appears that the majority sympathized with the defendants as opposed to their son, Henderson parents said. A Black American, the Henderson family told people in a statement Friday, "We will continue to seek justice and ask that the Supreme Court review our case." 8 of Henderson's loved ones, including his parents and siblings, was present in the courtroom when a panel announced its decision. According to the family, 2 senior judges and 1 juror agreed with the prosecutor request to convict, but they were outnumbered. Can't even get justice overseas. Can't get no kind of justice overseas. Be careful when you go overseas, my kings and queens. Be careful when you go overseas, because it's over there too. It's overseas too. It don't just happen over here. Yeah, everybody said, what about the black on black crime that be happening? Yes. Okay, what about the white on white crime? What about the other crimes that be happening that nobody want to talk about, but they all want to bring up black on black crime? I'm speaking about them too. There's better ways to settle a conflict. There's better ways to go home at night. that Henderson went over there to celebrate his graduation. But guess what? His parents, his family, his friends over in Austin, Texas, got to lay him to rest. He come back in a box. How do your loved one go somewhere and come back in a box from overseas? Why his friends that were with him didn't help him? That goes to show you got to choose your friends wisely. That's why sometimes if you don't have a best friend that is going to be with you through thick and thin, all the rest of them just associate. Associate don't mean a thing. Associate do not mean a thing. So it is what it is. It don't mean a thing. And I got another news story here, right? This is according to the Atlanta Black Star. And this facial recognition they try to use, right? It don't work too well. It don't work too good. It do not work. It don't work great. I'm gonna tell you why I said that. This per Atlanta Black Star, right? Got to admit that looks like you Detroit mom dragged from home in jail for attempted murder after cops mistake her for another black woman using faulty facial recognition. LaDonna Crutchfield, a 30-year-old black woman, was lying on her bed reading to her 5-year-old daughter when police began pounding on her door. Crutchfield's niece opened the door and encountered 6 Detroit police officers who demanded to speak to her aunt. When Crutchfield walked to the door to see what they wanted, they ordered her to step outside and arrested her, claiming they had a warrant over a missed court date. Okay. It was only after she was sitting in the back of a patrol car with her hands cuffed behind her back that she realized she was being arrested on a charge of assault to commit murder after police confused her for another. After police confused her for another black woman, she ended up spending 8 hours in jail before she was released. 8 hours in jail before she was released because of facial recognition. That should not be used. It got to be verified. It got to be verified. Okay. Turns out police use a facial recognition database, which is part of their Green Light project, which matched Crutchfield's face to a face of another black woman who was the real suspect in alleged crime, according to a federal lawsuit filed Friday against the Detroit Police Department. The complaint accused the police of several violations, including false arrest, assault, and battery. See, I'm gonna look up how many times facial recognition had misidentified a person of color, of our melanated brothers and sisters. Okay. Turns out police use a facial recognition database. Okay, I already read that. However, Detroit police claim her false arrest was not a result of facial recognition software, but their own incompetence. Oh, they admitted they were wrong, but said it wasn't a facial recognition software. That they were wrong. It don't matter. You admitted that you were wrong, and you use facial recognition to arrest her falsely. This case had nothing to do with facial recognition assisted Assistant Detroit Police Chief Charles Fitzgerald told Fox 2. There was an investigation done, Fitzgerald continued. The investigation led back to a partial play. It was a house on the east side. The east side home led us back to our plaintiff. When they compared the image they got from a video, just an image, they didn't do interfacial recognition. It led us to this individual. That what the chief said. How you gonna do an investigation? Y'all to do a thorough investigation. Y'all relied on that facial recognition to arrest this woman who was laying in bed reading to a 5-year-old child. Reading to a 5-year-old child, and then she sat in jail for 8 hours before you released her. However, the police report included as exhibit in the lawsuit indicated otherwise. I believe the lawsuit. On December 29, 2023, 4 p.m., it said, I conducted a database search, reads a report written by one of the officers who arrested her. Police redacted the sentencing following that statement, but the final sentence in the paragraph is not redacted and states the following. Miss Crutchfield matched the suspected I observed through green light with the shooting weapon. I then turned over my findings to Detective Thompson. He said Miss Crutchfield matched the suspect. You can match with anybody, but can you confirm that she was the suspect? You didn't confirm it. You went by the picture of a facial recognition. Come on. And Detroit have a history of wrongly arresting black citizens based on faulty facial recognition match, included in 2023 when they arrested Portia Woodruff, a 13-year-old black woman who was arrested on a warrant for robbery and carjacking while getting her kids ready for school. See, that don't work. Woodruff, who was pregnant, ended up spending hours in jail before she was released. In 2019, civilian Detroit Police Commission member Willie Burton referred to facial recognition technology as techno-racism. Every black man with a beard looks alike to it. Every black man with a hoodie looks alike. This is techno-racism, Burton said in a news interview at the time. I believe it. In 2021, a 14-year-old black girl was barred from a Detroit area skating ring out of the business used facial recognition software to ban her from the ring after confusing her with another black girl involved in the brawl. You can't rely on facial recognition. If you got a photo of the woman or the man, look at the photo. If you're not sure, you're supposed to check and verify the facial recognition and to make sure that it's the right person that you arrested. He goes at the arrest. It was just after 2 p.m. on January 23rd, 2024, when Detroit police knocked on her door to arrest her. Crutchfield, who worked 14 hours a day at 2 jobs to support her 3 children and her niece, who she is supported after the girl's mother died of C-19, had just gotten home from one of her jobs and was relaxing with her daughter. But only minutes later, she was being transported to the police station on false accusation that she tried to kill another person. False accusation. That's what she got the lawsuit in for. And the police station detective began interrogating her, showing her a collection of photos of heavyset black woman, according to the claim. Detroit police detective Mark Thompson pointed to a photo of a black woman wearing a bonnet and asked Crestfield if she was the woman in the photo, which she denied. You got to admit it, that looked like you, Thompson said, according to the claim. He tried to make her say the woman in the photo was her when it was not her. And she asked the question, why? Because I'm fat and black like her, she responded. But the detective did not believe her, telling her he believed she was involved in a shooting that he had been investigating, to telling her the time, date, and location of the shooter. Now, here's the caveat right here. However, Crestfield told the detective she had been working at the time of the shooting and had alibis to prove it, which apparently was enough to convince the detective. She was at work at the time of the shooting. She had alibis, strong alibi. She was working at the time. Then he came back and said, I don't believe Miss Crestfield did the shooting, Thompson told his partner. And his partner agreed with his assessment according to the claim. See, you should have did your investigation. You should have went by facial recognition to arrest that woman. You should have did your due diligence to see what's at the right house that you went to arrest that woman that did that shooting. But you didn't. That's why she's suing the Detroit Police Department. Okay. The detective told her she would be released immediately, but she was released 8 hours later after she was forced. Listen to this. She was forced to provide police with her fingerprints and a DNA sample through a swab. They didn't ask her. They didn't suggest that. They forced her to give a fingerprint and a DNA swab. Because she wasn't the woman they were looking for. If she wasn't a woman and you knew she was, her alibi checked out, she should have been released immediately, not 8 hours later, and not forced to give a fingerprint and DNA sample. After she was released, her mother drove her home where she explained to the children what had taken place before she left to work her second job, crying that she was driving because the cop told her she could be arrested again for the same crime. How in the hell are you going to arrest her for the same crime, which she didn't do? And you said she didn't do it. And y'all said that y'all messed up. The following day, she drove back to the police station and demanded documentation that she was clear of being a suspect in the alleged crime. And she got it. Detective Thompson apologized for the mistake and gave her a letter stating, I am now able to declare Miss Crestfield is not the subject involved in this criminal investigation. Just in case they want to try to arrest her again for that crime that she did not commit. Crestfield arrest is only one of many arrests of innocent black citizens over the years who police believe matched the description of another black person who had committed a crime simply because they shared the same skin tone. Well, I'm saying it is happening a lot. And technology has not improved things because Crestfield is one of several innocent black citizens arrested over the years after facial recognition software wrongly matched them to other black people suspected of committing crime, including a New Jersey man who spent 8 days in jail on false charges in 2021. In fact, in 2018, studies cited by the ACLU determined that facial recognition technology misidentified black women 35% of the time, while hardly ever get it wrong for white men. Hmm. Make make you wonder. Make you wonder, don't it? If government agencies like police department and the FBI are authorized to deploy invasive facial surveillance technology against our community, these technology will unquestionably be used to target black and brown people merely for existing ACL state. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. And that facial recognition will hurt some people. And sometimes some people might not, some of us people might not have an alibi. Oh, where were you at home? But I'm telling you, don't go in the police station, answer questions. Ask them, tell them you want a lawyer. And they can't force you to give a fingerprint or a DNA sample either. It still goes on and on and on. But I tell you, one thing for sure, one thing for certain, we are in a fight for our life. We fight against the system. We forget that we fight against other ethnic groups that don't like us. We even fight against the justice system. We fighting the police department. We fighting everything you can think about. We fighting to stay alive. Heck, we already know if you live in the hood somewhere, it's a possibility, hey, you might lose your life. But I don't want to be put in a pine box. I don't want to be beat up and hospitalized, being in the hospital. That's a medical bill that don't need to be made. Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Sometimes you got to stay away from these places that you know it's a possibility that you not want it. Sometimes you got to stay away from certain part of town knowing you're not wanted there. Sometimes facial recognition. And I'm going to tell you this right here. She didn't have to step outside the door. She just could have stayed in the house because they had to have a warrant to come in and get you. And it got to be a right name. Even when they know they had a wrong house, that still traumatize you. Especially if you got the kids are traumatized. That's why some people do not trust the police or no form of law enforcement. So we don't know what they're gonna do and how they're gonna go wrong. But I tell you, I will pick up on this tomorrow with something else. But stay the course of your action. Just be yourself. Don't try to be nobody else. Don't try to be nobody else. Because one day we are going to be free of a whole lot of different things. We're going to be free of a whole lot of different things. But it comes down to this. We got to be our brothers keepers. We got to be our sister keepers. We got to watch each other back. We got to help each other. Stop being selfish. Another thing, before I get out of here, like I said, you gotta love and respect yourself. Because when you love and respect yourself, you can see through a whole lot of BS in this world. You gotta love yourself enough. You gotta love yourself, because nobody can love you better than you love yourself. Instead of the VFW's, the pubs, and the white bars, because ain't no telling what happened when I get that liquid courage in them. Like I said, love and respect yourself. Because when you love and respect yourself, you can see through all the BS. Self-love is the best love. Because nobody can love you better than you love yourself. Peace. I'm out.